Hello guys, we're Team 5 and I'm Chris,
I'm Kalen.
I'm Chris.
and today we're going over our Inogen Rove 6, our system verification and functional configuration audit, followed by our commercial production and regulatory readiness review. So, and here is our agenda, kind of a summary of what we'll be going over today, starting with the verification, then moving to validation and risk closure, then shifting into FCA, and then the CPRR areas, um, and then finishing with the top launch risk and our go or no go recommendation. Next slide, please. So this is our verification summary. During our verification, we confirmed all essential performance requirements. So starting with the oxygen purity, we wanted a greater than or equal to 90% with an uncertainty of plus or minus 3%. For our compressor pressure, it was 21 with the uncertainty of plus or minus 1 psi for 8 continuous hours. And then our noise is less than or equal to 39 decibels. And then our battery life would be greater than or equal to 5.5 hours. The supporting test cases, TCOCS 001 for the oxygen compressor subsystem, and the TCELEC BAT001 for the battery system, both passed. Our traceability matrix in the DHF links every requirement to a corresponding verification result, showing complete closure for this phase. Next slide, please. So here's our validation summary. We validated the row 6 with its intended users, which are the elderly adults of 65 and older. Each participant independently assembled and operated the device using the instructions for use without any assistance. The metric results match our engineering specs, with more specifically the oxygen purity of greater than or equal to 90%, the noise levels of less than or equal to 39 decibels, and then the battery of greater than 5.5 hours. Feedback described the device as a comfortable and easy to understand. That confirms that the design not only meets the specification, but also fulfills its intended use and usability requirements for home and ambulatory therapy. Next slide.
So for the SVR risk closure portion, our objective was to confirm that the Inogen Rove 6 meets all design input requirements before we transfer to manufacturing and finalize regulatory submission. All the critical performance requirements passed verification. We do have two open actions, the compressor vibration retest, which was delayed due to the lab flooding, and the label Rev A3 supplier update. Owners are assigned, and these items are being tracked through change control. From a risk standpoint, all 18 mitigations identified in the ISO 14971 file have been fully verified and closed. The only residual risks, supplier dependence and schedule exposure, have been reviewed and accepted by QA and RA. Overall, the system is performing to spec, traceability is complete, and remaining items are minor and already in progress. For the configuration baseline, our goal was to confirm that the as-built Rove 6 matches the release design and that every configuration item is under proper change control. We verify that the device master record is at Rev A and the BOM is at Rev A2, which reflects the updated US compressor supplier. All CAD models are locked in PDM, and the PCB layout at Rev C matches the approved Gerbers in the design history file. All the software side, the firmware build of R6 version 1.4 was confirmed through checksum matching against the release record, ensuring that we're working with the correct validated build. From a change control perspective, both key ECNs, ECN1 for biocompatibility material change and ECN2 for the supplier transition, were fully approved before the build. Drawings and software artifacts were cross-checked against the DHF index to ensure full alignment with the baseline. Overall, the configuration baseline is stable, fully documented, and ready for downstream manufacturing and regulatory activities.
On the production side, the flood event caused a 10-day downtime, but all verification and process validation equipment have been requalified. Our pilot build achieved a 95% yield across 10 units, all conforming under DMR procedures. The new US compressor vendor was qualified through ECNO2 and integrated into the supply chain as well. The manufacturing team is also cross-trained and tooling verification is ongoing. The remaining risk is limited capacity from a single supplier, and this was mitigated by qualifying a secondary vendor in the first quarter of 2026. Overall, the production system is stable and ready for low-rate initial builds. Next slide, please. Marketing and service readiness, on the other hand, are both at high confidence. Claims align with the 510K indications and labeling Rev A3. Sales and clinical training are 95% complete, and service manuals are validated. All launch collateral is finished, and the only delay is the corporate website, and this being 2 weeks behind schedule, and it's covered temporarily by a microsite. Our customer support portal and 24/7 service line are already live with APAC distributor training scheduled for December 2025. Next slide, please. And then finally, the 510K submission was filed in August 2026, and we expect FDA clearance by December. Labeling is fully compliant with the UDI and intended use language. Our quality management system, that being the design controls, CAPA, and document control, passed internal audits with no findings. And post-market systems are ready. Compliant handling, CAPA response, and MDR reporting are validated for both US and EU markets. In short, we're audit ready and simply awaiting final clearance. Next slide, please.
So there are 4 remaining risks we're tracking, that being FDA clearance delay, which we're hold till launch until approval. We have website delay, of which microsite is already live. Supplier capacity limit, circumventing by secondary vendor qualification of Q1 2026, and the flood reoccurrence, of which the facility monitoring and insurance upgrade are complete. Each risk has a defined owner, trigger, and contingency.
As in, for our next steps, the team recommends conditional go for the pilot launch. The 3 follow-up actions are the FDA clearance, like done by Kaylin. The target date is December 2026, and then the website launch done by Chris Gutiel, by target of November 2025, and then the supplier capacity review, which will be done by Chris H, by the target of January 2026. Once these are closed, the project transitions to full production readiness and market release. Next slide. That'd be it. Thank you.